morning, YouTube friends. Thanks so much for coming by. Today we are smoking a watermelon. You heard me right? A watermelon. This is a total experiment. Keep on watching to see how it turns out. Okay guys, first things first, you need to get yourself a seedless watermelon. I happen to have this guy laying around. My friend Sarah brought it over. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for not liking watermelon. This totally inspired me to give this recipe a shot. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking a knife here and skinning our watermelon. I'm trying as hard as I can to leave some of that white rind because I believe that will hopefully, there's almost like a membrane there, so I'm hoping it'll help our watermelon hold together when it's on the grill so the flesh doesn't just totally fall through, because I really have no idea what's going to happen. I've never tried this before. So once I've got it all skinned up, I'm just going to go back through and carefully remove any parts where I can see that green. I'm just trying to leave a bit of that white, like I said, on there so our watermelon holds together. Okay, this is looking pretty good here. I'm just going to transfer our whole watermelon to a cookie sheet, and I'm just going to lay it on the side that seems to roll the least amount, which is a little tricky because it is quite round, but this seems pretty stable. Then I'm going to score it, kind of like how you see a honey-baked or regularly baked ham scored. I'm going to go across diagonal, and then I'll go across the other way. This is going to give us some cracks to kind of let all that flavor of our dry rub and our marinade soak in while we're cooking our watermelon. Next, I made a super simple dry rub. It just has some pink Himalayan sea salt, some ground black pepper, and some garlic powder. Mixing it together with my knife here, and we're just going to rub it all over the top and sides of our watermelon. Get it nice and coated. So once you've got your dry rub on here, I'm just going to let the watermelon hang out on the counter, room temperature, while I prepare the grill and our little smoking chips. That's looking really good. So I happen to have a ton of plum trees in my backyard, and I've always wanted to try to smoke with them, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to give it a shot. I just cut down a little branch, cut them up. I also soaked them in water for about a half an hour, and I'm going to dump out that water. I've got them in a little loaf pan here, kind of like a little makeshift smoker type thing. I'm going to sit it in the corner of the grill, and that's going to produce some smoke while we're cooking up our watermelon. We've got our dry rubbed watermelon here. Gonna throw it on the grill. So I'm just pouring on the rest of the dry rub that's mixed with the watermelon juice just to make sure we get all that flavor in there. I'm gonna close up our grill. We're not gonna check it for another 25 minutes. A little bit of a giant watermelon. So it's been about 25 minutes. We're at just above 350 degrees. It's starting to get nice and roasty. It's starting to shrink a little bit as well. Our plum wood's starting to smoke a little bit. Now I'm just going to brush on a bit of this marinade I made. It has a little bit of liquid smoke in it so we can get more smokiness going on. Also maple syrup, apple cider vinegar, crushed black pepper, and garlic powder. I'll of course link below exactly what I used. I'm just brushing it all over, trying to get it in those cracks so we can get all sorts of flavor into the watermelon as well. And I'm going to do this process at about every 25 minutes until we start to see a really nice char on our watermelon, thinking it's going to be about an hour or so. So this is the second time we're basting it. You can see we're getting a little bit more brown, a little bit more crust. Now it's been about an hour. Look at that char that's happening. This looks so beautiful. It almost does look like some sort of a very rare roast. So I think we're looking pretty good here. I'm going to very carefully try to get this guy off the grill. Does seem a little stuck, but it hasn't gone through the cracks, which is really all I was hoping for, honestly. So I'm just transferring it to a big platter here, and we're gonna let it rest for about 20 minutes. Then we're just gonna slice this beauty right on up, just like you would a roast. I'm gonna get some thin slices. As you can see, the edges are quite soft. The middle is a little bit more like a watermelon, it looks like. This is crazy. Smoked watermelon, folks. Now the moment of truth, we've got to give it a little bit of a taste test. Okay guys, our watermelon is smoked for about an hour. Let it rest for about 20 minutes. And I've got a little piece here that's got the roasty, smoky skin crust on it. And I'm gonna give it a shot. Oddly delicious. I think I really like it. I feel like it's something, if you're somebody that likes salt on your watermelon, this could be something that you would really enjoy. It's got a definite smoky, peppery, salty, like roastiness. That's a lot of adjectives in the skin here. And the texture just beneath is almost meat-like. It's very crazy that this could happen with a watermelon. As you get closer to the middle of the watermelon, it still has that watermelon integrity to it, which I kind of like, but I could see where you could smoke this longer and it would become even more, almost like a tuna texture, I feel like. This is crazy. I don't know if it's something I'd eat all the time, but on occasion, and especially to bring somewhere where people haven't tried it before, it's kind of a fun experiment. It's good. I think it'll be even better cold. We'll see. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that you're staying safe and healthy, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers.